What's going on YouTube? I am Germ here, and today is a little bit different of a video coming from me and my channel. Today we're going to be talking about a little bit of CSGO investing slash community drama, but I'm also going to be tying this back into the actual markets and tying this back into what I think is some overall good thoughts, opinions, advice, whatever you want to call it, on the Paris markets and just the CSGO investing markets in general. So right now, today, I'm recording this on July 22nd, not exactly sure when this video is going to come out. I have a lot of backlog of videos and stuff going on right now. There is a lot of hate and kind of I don't know, ridicule and stuff going on towards Fano. Without, flaming or talking shit or talking trash or whatever too much, my background on Fano is kind of the guy I started watching to get into this whole thing. I've been playing CSGO since, 2015, 2014, something like that, on and off. I went through phases of playing other games, but, had some items, had some stuff like that. Obviously returned to the game more during the pandemic and really returned into CSGO investing more recently. Fano, one of the top CSGO investing creators. If you look up, CSGO investing stuff in 2023 on YouTube, Fano's going to be at the top. So I started watching some of his content, started getting back more into this investing world based off of Fano and through the viewpoint of Fano on a lot of things. And I think overall he's a great entry point for kind of low-level investors or new people, or he has a lot of information. He has a nice backlog of content. He is easily digestible, makes some good videos and stuff like that. But as I started to watch him more and more, every once in a while, and increasingly more often, especially as I started to learn more and research on my own and check out my own stuff, I did think Fano would start to say some pretty silly stuff, even some pretty outrageous and ridiculous stuff at times. So slowly I started watching less and less of Fano after I, slowly didn't need him as much, as I was starting to grow my own knowledge base by doing my own research and making my own content. And yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, I think Fano's a good baseline, a good entry point. But I think as people start to develop their knowledge base and start to research some stuff on their own, I think you're going to start to find that Fano definitely does say some weird things, definitely just says some almost straight up incorrect things at times. But he does some good stuff as well. Obviously, he has, like I said, he has a lot of knowledge. He has a lot of experience in these markets and stuff like that. So I'm not here to hate on Fano or anything like that. I just don't necessarily think his content is for me at this point. But obviously, there's a lot of people who love him, a lot of people that are doing that thing. And I support anyone who makes content and is helping this whole thing grow. So like I said, personally, he's not for me really much at this point. Of course, I'm still going to follow him because he's so big in the scene, and I'm going to keep an eye on the things that he's doing, but I'm not like an active Fano viewer or anything at this point. And in this drama, I don't really have a horse in this race. I don't really care about either one of these parties, so I think I can kind of give my third-party unbiased opinion on the whole thing. So Fano tweeted out this, and it's not the first time he's tweeted out something like this. There are some other tweets as well, but he tweeted out, currently, the only Paris Hollow sticker under $1 that's listed on the Steam market, this is the ENTS Paris Hollow. While the sticker varies slightly from previous borderless versions, it may prove to be a sleeper that investors look back and wish that they bought at these low levels. A simple 10x is only $7.50. Now, there are a couple things that I take issue with this tweet. There's a couple things that other people have taken issue with this tweet. First up, the fact that he says, while the sticker varies slightly from previous borderless versions, I really think that that's like a pretty straight up bullshit slash almost manipulative statement right off the bat. That's probably my biggest gripe with this tweet. If we pull up right here, we have the Stockholm 2021 ENTS Hollow. Now, again, we're going to click over to next up, the ENTS Antwerp 2022 Hollow. Again, if I click back and forth between these two real quick, would you say that there are slight variances between this, while the stickers vary slightly? Would you say that these stickers vary slightly? What are the slight variances? The Stockholm and PGL Antwerp at the bottom, the colors are maybe a little bit different. This is the same sticker. This is almost a carbon cut copy. This is almost a 1-to-1. This, I would again, the language is probably not technically incorrect, but I really would not tell people that these vary slightly from each other. And then here's the Paris. Again, exact same thing. Maybe it's a little bit different color. Maybe you can say it's got the Paris in the bottom as opposed to the Antwerp or the Stockholm. But this is three of the exact same borderless sticker, in my opinion, and in the opinion of most people out there. And again, that is a bad thing for this sticker because they're all three going to be competing with each other. If you want an ENTS Hollow, there are three different choices. The volumes are going to be higher. All that stuff is going to overall be bad for it. Also, I take issue with the fact that he's saying currently the only pair of sticker under $1. Like, yes, that is true. This is the cheapest pair of sticker. But as I've said in previous videos, so many people are like, oh, what's the cheapest thing? Or, oh, I only have a small budget, so I'm going to buy all the cheap stuff. Or, oh, the cheap stuff, it can double, triple, quadruple easier. And like, that's just not true. Again, when we look at this spreadsheet, we will see that sometimes the cheap stuff has an easier time of doubling or tripling or quadrupling or whatever. Sometimes the most expensive stuff, like in the case of the Stockholm Mouse Hollow, it was always super expensive. It peaked at $135, but it still also saw insane gains. It was the fourth most expensive sticker at the end of the Stockholm sale, yet it still saw 104x gains, while cheaper stuff, let me find something down towards the bottom here. The nip was 16 cents. You could have said, oh, it's going to double, triple, quadruple, it's going to have insane returns really easily, blah, 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 blah. It had a lot worse returns. It had some of the bottom returns in the whole market. So, from the end of the sale to the peak. So just because it was cheap doesn't necessarily mean, obviously it still did okay. It still went up 31x and until today it went up 7x. But just because something's cheap does not mean it's good. It might be cheap for a reason, because there's no hype, because there's no demand, because nobody wants it. That makes a lot of sense as well. Just because it's cheap doesn't mean, oh, get it because it's cheap, because it can double, triple. Hey, a 10x is only to 750. But at the same time, in the defense of Fano, if we go back and look at these other Ents hollows, here is how they have performed. This is the Ents from Stockholm. It was 25 cents at the end of the sale. It went up to $7.80 at its peak, and it is currently now at $1.85. That is a 31x from the end of the sale to its absolute peak, and that is a 7.5x from the end of the Stockholm sale to today. If we go back and look at the Antwerp Ents right here, it went from 41 cents to 7.26 down to $1.42 today, which is again a 17x from end of the sale to peak and a 3.4x from then. So, like he's saying, hey, this thing could maybe get to 750. We've seen that historically with the other Ents hollows. The Ents hollows have gotten to 726 and they've gotten to 781. So both times the Ents hollows in the previous collections have actually crossed the $7 range. So you could say that, hey, maybe this one's going to do it again. Obviously, what we did see was from Stockholm to Antwerp, returns lessened a lot. And I do expect that once again from Antwerp to Paris, returns are going to lessen even further for a lot of different reasons. Again, this is the third board of the sticker set now. Paris is maybe going to be overly invested, all this stuff. But a lot of the wording and stuff here is pretty dangerous. The fact that he says, hey, a simple 10x. There is nothing simple about a 10x. And again, if Fano or anyone in this community thought that a 10x was going to be simple, they would be investing their entire life savings. Again, Fano is a guy with some money. He is, especially for his age, very, very well off. He has some money. He is not doing bad. He is not a poor guy by any means. If he could 10x his net worth, if he could 10x his wealth, he would absolutely do that, and he would be making a very, very, very meaningful amount of money. If he believed that a 10x was so simple, he would be dumping all of his money into whatever he thought had a chance to 10x. Now, he is going to be investing a lot of money into Paris. I do believe that, but again, if he thought that this was so simple, he would be doing a lot more aggressive investing than he currently is. The other thing to watch out for is what has happened since Fano's tweet. If we zoom in here, we can see Fano, he tweeted this at 9 a.m. on July 22nd. If we look at some of these markets, look at what happened from 9 a.m. on July 22nd. The market exploded for the Ents hollow, went from 70 cents up to 94, up to 96, and then right back down to 75, meaning that obviously people are buying off of the information in his tweets. Whether he, obviously it's fair to ask, hey, Fano, do you own any Ents hollows? He says no, but hey, we never know what's in people's storage units or whatever. I hope he's not market manipulating. I don't know, but nevertheless, whatever he tweets about, or at this point he's so big on Twitter and YouTube and everything, if he's tweeting about something, it's gonna have a pump, it's gonna have explosion. Obviously he can use that to do not so great things, but also other people can use that to do not so great things. Now that's not entirely his fault, and I don't know, it's really hard because obviously as a content creator, I'm somebody who's gonna want to talk about my investments and my beliefs in the market and all this stuff, but it's also a fine line where you have to be very, very careful as well. Now obviously this has gone on to a lot of people roasting Fano, this guy in the comments saying, hey, a simple 10x. This is why most people hate dumbass YouTubers like you just preying on dumb kids with a statement. I don't know. Like I said, I liked this tweet, but that because I do think Fano's tweet overall was a little bit problematic. But at the same time, this guy shouldn't be coming in this aggressive. This guy is also making himself look like a dumbass in this instance by, saying some of these things. And again, like I said, historically the ENS hollows have actually done decently well, and the hollows in general have seen at least close to 10x returns. It's not totally asinine. I think every single Stockholm sticker from the end of the sale to peak saw a 10x return except for Navi, and then in Antwerp from end of the sale to peak, I think we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them did not see a 10x return. All the other ones did. So again, that's a big drop off from Stockholm to Antwerp. I think we're going to see a bigger drop off from Antwerp to Paris. But again, 10x isn't totally asinine. It's not totally insane. Now, calling it simple, that is the dangerous part. That is the outlandish part. And, you know, the questions about market manipulation and all this stuff. But again, there's people, you know, crushing him in the quote tweet saying, hey, this is the only sticker in Paris that looks good because I invested into it as well. Please buy it, guys. It's a sleeper investment. So I'm begging you guys to buy it and pump up the price. A simple 10x of these is only $350. And then, you know, people kind of memeing on him. This is like an EG coach saying these attempts at price manipulation are pretty blatant and funny. Always this guy like simply 10x in value will cause a sticker to be worth 10 times as much, which again is also just a really like stupid and simple statement. Like Fano saying, hey, a 10x is this price. Like that doesn't prove us anything. You know, he should be saying like, can this thing really 10x? Here's why I think it could 10x. Here's some historical data and information, all that stuff. And that's what I try to do in my videos and content and everything, of course. Which again, once you actually look at the numbers and that and things, I think there's actually some case to be made that the ENS hollow could maybe 10x. Now, I don't think it's going to 10x. My prediction would be much, much less than that. But, you know, if Fano did really want to say that, he could use more historical evidence and data and actually numbers and analysis and research and back it up, which, you know, I don't think he does. The amount of bullion in this thread is insane. With anything money related, just take the input and decide for yourself, which again, I also think is important. This guy is worried about the price manipulation. You know, he saw the increase in the stuff, but he says this is why I don't reveal my investments, which I think is dumb as well. Content creators can't talk about their investments. Content creators can't say their picks or what they think is good or bad. Like that doesn't make sense. Content creators talking about what they think is good or bad is great for the CSGO investing environment. Obviously not when it's used for price manipulation and when it's used for bad and stuff like that, but it also gets people excited about CSGO investing in general. It's going to get more people into the market, and that's going to help the market go up over time overall by getting more and more people into it. It's going to be good for the game. It's going to be good for everyone. And without that stuff, it's, you know, bad overall. But yes, him saying a simple 10x, definitely not good. Him potentially price manipulating, whether on purpose or on accident, definitely not good. Him saying that these stickers vary slightly from previous borderless versions, I think is not good. Him saying that this is a good pick just because it's the only thing under $1, I think is not good. I don't know. A lot of weird stuff going on here. But again, also the people trying to roast and bully him, I think they kind of come out of this whole thing looking like dumb asses and assholes a little bit as well. And are also a little bit misguided. I think, you know, we really have people on both sides of the spectrum really kind of making fools and making a mockery of themselves just in kind of totally different ways. So I don't know. I hope Fano is more careful with his wording and his tweets and posts in the future, but obviously he's doing a lot of things right. Obviously his growth and his success and everything has been amazing. You know, I wish him well. I don't know. This is an overall pretty weird and interesting situation. I don't really, like I said, I don't really agree with either party at the end of the day. I think they're both right and wrong in some ways, but I at least wanted to add some evidence, some data, and some analysis to this whole situation, give some of my thoughts and opinions, and just kind of let you guys know what the heck is going on. I don't know. I don't hate Fano. I don't dislike him. I don't anything like that, but I do think he needs to be more careful, and I think everyone else should maybe chill out and relax a little bit as well. But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.